Okay. So, I wanted to talk about something today between basically the 14 and WoW communities, just something I've kind of seen over the years. FanFest, very recent. FanFest was very, very cool. I saw a few segments. I couldn't watch a lot of it because of the hours it was at. And personally, I wanted to dodge as many spoilers as possible because I personally, like even WoW stuff, I don't look at data mine really. But I saw a few of the memes come out of it, and it kind of shows just what I've been seeing. I think the two... Obviously, BlizzCon encapsulates all Blizzard products, all IPs. And then FanFest is just for 14. But I think with the way they did the structure between these 2 years and the last recent years, that I think FanFest and just seeing how the devs react to things is a lot more wholesome and a lot more passionate about their product than what I've seen with Blizzard over the years. And one of the things was Soken's Lahi. And this is before we found out about his cancer and remission and all this. This was like earlier on in the FanFest. But we have this. And like, I just think it's great.
Do you know Lahi?
Lahi? I love the faces she makes back here, by the way.
Play Lahi.
I really do. It's so funny.
Music start.
Stato. I just love it, dude. We have to see the face. We have to see the face she does. She may be playing it up, or maybe she didn't know. Who knows? Just that face, dude. Just like, all right, this is happening. We're here. We're here right now. It's happening. It's so good. It's so good, too. Like, he's going for it. He is really going for it. It is so good. Dank Jam. And those are automatones, right? Is that how you pronounce that? Automatones. Like, this is so... I don't know. I just really respect this guy. Gosh, I can't handle it. Dank Jam. But I don't know. I loved the music going throughout all the MSQ, right? And then I see him do this, and then you find out the stuff later. He is just one of those people. He just has a nice soul about him, I feel like. And I kind of, God damn it. You think about the segment at the end of the FanFest and you just tear up, and I'm just... Anyway, he just seems like he has a very good soul, aura, whatever you want to call it. He seems like just a really sweet cinnamon roll. Yes, that is a good version of that. But I see this, okay? I see this. He goes out here. And I remember at League of Legends, this is not even MMO talk. At League of Legends, one of the dudes came out and started doing one of the songs, and he started like, beep, boop, beep, you know, something similar, but it was like scuffed. It was scuffed funny. But like, this was actually pretty good. Like, trying to attempt like the high notes for that. I don't know. I just respect the hell out of it. And then you have like this, right? So you have memes in the community. Everybody knows the twinning meme. I knew about the twinning meme before I even knew what the twinning was. And then you had this happen at FanFest. And okay, hold up. This dude right here is getting it. I don't know who this is, but that face right there, he is so, I'm so happy. I saw this guy and I loved it. He is so into it. Like each one of them has their own feel. Serious dad, serious uncle. Like they're all into it, man. It's so good. See, the thing is, Blizzard could do some things like this, but they get live entertainment, right? Like I think they did Metallica this year, but the thing is about BlizzCon and comparing it to FanFest this year, FanFest they put on a live show. Of course, it's later on in COVID's lifetime compared to when BlizzCon happened, but BlizzCon, most of its stuff was taped. It was taped previously. And there was a lot more live segments in the FanFest, I feel like, compared to what happened with BlizzCon. Obviously, that may be a time issue with COVID and everything going on, depending on what they wanted to do for safety reasons. But, like, FanFest felt more personable because it was not just recordings and stuff. But anyway, that being said, Blizzard has a band. It's like WoW. WoW has like Elite Tour and Chieftain, right? Why didn't they ever do something with a meme with like ETC? During FanFest was the game show bit. There was I missed the game show. I didn't even know about that. But that being said, you know, I tried not to be nitpicky. Okay, fair warning. I tried not to be nitpicky with my comparisons between like the passion for the devs and other things they do. Like this isn't even an MMO relation, but this is just Blizzard in general. So we have these guys rocking out, celebrating memes in the community, and then you have this from a couple years ago when Diablo Immortal was announced, and everybody knows this meme.
Any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys not have phones? So the thing is about the phone stuff. So here's the thing. I actually know someone who went to BlizzCon. Rixie in the chat actually went to BlizzCon that year, and he thought Diablo Immortal really wasn't that bad. But the idea is that there's a disconnect between what the community wanted. This is pre-Diablo 4 announcement. In Diablo 3 itself, a lot of people didn't really like Diablo 3. So when you're announcing a mobile version of a game before like the main series, like a lot of the community is going to be pissed off about it. I think that's just because, you know, a lot of us grew up with Diablo. Top left, calm down, please stop, please. Now I brought attention to it. Anyway, that's why I agree, Drenai, Milky Mommies. Anyway, but I wanted to show like some of the things from BlizzCon over the years, and there's some wholesome stuff. During BFA, BFA was a tragedy. I hated BFA. But there was a meme with the turtle lore and the turtle race in that game when we did World Quest for it. And she's a new voice actor, and I learned about her story. Like she just got into voice acting, and like I think she's in her 90s, but this is so wholesome. And nobody knows. If you play WoW, you know, but otherwise you don't know.
A turtle made it to the water.
And that was from the like voice actor segment. And I saw some of the voice actor segment from FanFest, and like I didn't listen to any of the Japanese voices when I went through the MSQ, but I thought that was really cool too. Yeah, like the turtle, that was the biggest meme from BFA besides of how bad the game was. A turtle made it to the water was an iconic voice line by this lady. through all of BFA, and it's because you have to do world quests every goddamn day. So a turtle made it to the water. It was so cool when that happened, and I thought it was incredibly wholesome. So there's still some wholesome stuff at BlizzCon and everything. My main issue is with the devs, really, and like you see the devs out there, the people who do the live letters, FanFest. Can you see Ian Hazacostas out there doing an Elite Tauren Chieftain thing? Or like memeing or dressing up in the new class costume or a cosplay, delivering the information to the fan base, Maybe that's just not what Blizzard does. But I feel like just the way the fan fests and BlizzCon are kind of just how different they are. I feel like the passion is important too. And I just don't see it from Blizzard anymore. And like Activision is probably the problem. But there is a good thing in the last recent years. We had Classic, right? We had Classic WoW. We have Classic WoW here. So this was the announcement when Classic WoW was announced.
Please welcome
And to preface this also has something. When this was asked about before, would you ever think about making servers that were around the game back in the day? And they basically said, you think you do, but you don't. There's a lot of things you don't like about the game that you won't like. But there's people have been doing peace servers for Classic forever. And it was J. Allen Brack that said that. I'm pretty sure that you think you do, but you don't.
Big news.
This feels more like an Apple showcase than a festival.
And I want to talk about
I think it's kind of like for their stock too. Like
ice cream. Is great.
I feel like it's not just for the fans. It's
Ice
for
cream
like
is one
their
of my favorite desserts.
people who are invested in them
Personally,
too.
I love chocolate, and I love cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is actually my
For those that don't
all-time
know,
favorite
vanilla
dessert.
is what Classic WoW was referred to.
But I understand
Vanilla
that for some
WoW.
of you, your favorite
And it's also all
flavor
scripted, yeah.
is vanilla.
Someone once said that you can't go home again, but they lacked
Why am I getting emotional?
and a temporal discombobulator.
I've already been playing Classic. This is in the past. This game came out like 15 years ago. I'm just kind of remembering like how I felt when the trailer came out and like when they announced this. And I'm like, man, that's fucking sick. I don't know. It just seeing that dwarf. That still hits different. I'm an emotional guy just in general. Anyway, like the dwarf is such a big iconic thing from that cinematic. Like the original WoW cinematic was such a big deal growing up for me because I was 13 and I saw all that, and like the Tauren sprinkling the dust over like Mulgore or whatever, it's like there's so many iconic scenes from that trailer that I still remember. But that was like the Classic announcement, and here's the thing. I feel like after Classic was announced, the passion from the Classic dev team overtook like anything that retail was doing. Especially when BFA came out, our only hope was Classic WoW. Legitimately, BFA, so many people fucking quit. I knew so many Mythic guilds, people used to be top 100 world, just quit the fucking game because they hated BFA so much. So BFA came out, we had to wait for Classic. Classic was the thing, like, please Classic, save us. And for a lot of people, like retail players, they didn't want to do Classic or whatever, right? I feel like Classic itself, the idea, what it did was the last time Blizzard like showed some faith in the community, because I don't think initially it was for money. I don't think Classic initially was for money. I think they were just like, you know what, let's see how this goes. Now, fast forward to TBC servers. How much cash microtransaction bullshit are they pumping? They have a boost. They have a mount. I don't like it. I really don't. And maybe I'm a boomer or whatever. I think the old trilogy should, like, you should earn your way. I've kind of lessened over the boost. Here's my idea about the microtransactions, and this is my big point. If they took the money and policed their own game with the rampant RMT and botters in Classic WoW, that's why I get so mad at Blizzard. They don't ban any of this. There's so many things that Asmon, all these other WoW content creators have been talking about. We've just been so fed up. They don't ban the rampant RMT in the game with gold. That affects the economy. It affects how people do things in the game. The game is so profession and like preparation heavy with elixirs, potions, all this other stuff. GDKP runs. That's another thing that's been doing. Like, the amount of gold that is just out there in the economy is so overinflated. Not just because people know how to farm things, but because botters, gold farmers, boosters, all these things. I don't even think boosting is that bad. It's just when everything else is surrounding it, it's just fucking annoying. And you see 14 ban the fuck out of RMT. Like, they give regular updates. Blizzard takes, it's like every 6 months. And you know what? They ban a wave. It's a big wave, granted. But you know what? Those people have burner accounts. Those accounts got banned. They just log in with their new accounts. They just keep going on their merry way. You think boosting was harmed the first day bans went out? No. People are still boosting. People were still in Strat Home in their groups of 5 farming shit so they can make gold. It's ridiculous. The rampant RMT and the fact that, here's my big take, WoW tokens and RMT go hand in hand. Blizzard is making money off of the WoW tokens, but the reality is there are botters in retail that make the money for a WoW token. Those botters never get punished. They get the WoW tokens and they have free subs. Literally, people paying for the WoW tokens to get gold are supporting the RMT effort because Blizzard doesn't do the bans on RMT. That's my biggest issue with the WoW token, is that Blizzard gets a cut, but they don't do anything for the community with that cut at all. And the botters just spin up a new fresh account with the gold that they get because ban waves are so few and far between. It just bothers me. But we got a little sidetracked there. And then I wanted to show something from very recent. This is the last year. This is last month. This is the last month. Preach, a member from a WoW content creator, he did an interview with Ian Hazakostas about 9.1 and World of Warcraft going forward. Preach is an OG. Preach has been making videos since Cataclysm on YouTube. Now, there's a few segments of this. This is an hour-long interview. So instead of the live letters that FanFest, like not FanFest, but like Final Fantasy does, and like what they did with FanFest, they started doing interviews. And they used to not do interviews at all until BFA was bombing hard. And like the player base, we want answers. And even then, during those segments on Twitch where they did a sit down talking about what was going on, half of the block was transmog questions or like minion questions. Like, talk about the game. I understand people can be interested in transmog and all these other things, but when the base gameplay of the game is so bad, we want answers and to focus on that first as a player base. And maybe some people who do the collections and everything, they don't mind the gameplay because they're just really there for the collections and the pet battles and everything. But it always felt like they choose the softball questions, and it feels like it's a spit in the face, in my opinion. But there's a few segments in here. There's specifically, I want to see if it's actually saved here. Question and answer periods in 14 is always like that too. Yeah, but I feel like it would hit different and we'd be more okay with it. It's like you get more angry when the game's doing bad and they don't answer things. And I feel like if the game was doing bad, Yoshi P would be up there, be like, hey, we understand, we're working on it. You know, like I feel over what I've seen, everything from Yoshi P, he seems like the picture perfect person to be running a game. Like, I wish we had a Yoshi P in Warcraft. I really do. And it hurts me. One of the big reasons why I teared up in the classic segment is because I remembered what Blizzard used to be like. Like, that's the big thing. Like, it really bothers me. But anyway, this video, the Chains of Domination, that's the 9.1 patch and Preached It interview. Yeah, Metzen. Actually, one more clip before we do that. Let me look this up really fast. This goes even further. There's been tweets. I don't want to have to go find the tweets. There's tweets of this though, of the story designers, especially with like there's a one part in Cataclysm recently. One part in Cataclysm specifically where they changed a voice line when Garrosh called Sylvanas a bitch, and they removed the line. And they went they had a personal Twitter with one of the story writers asking like, hey, why this change specifically? And they went to the story writers, and the story writer pulled off like the Riot 200 years of experience explanation about it. And it was such a fucking meme. And it just really bothered me. And then on the counterpoint here, you have Chris Metzen. You have Metzen here with Red Shirt Guy. And he talks about something in the lore. This is BlizzCon 2010. This is back when... This is Cataclysm, I'm pretty sure.
I just finished reading The Shattering yesterday.
Good man.
And I noticed something. It said that Falstad Wildhammer was going to be on the Council of Three Hammers, but in the beta it's Kurdrin Wildhammer, and Falstad is not in the game at all. What happened to him?
Isn't Falstad dead? From Day of the Dragon? No?
No, he survived, and in fact, he was the leader of Airy Peak in Vanilla WoW through Wrath of the Lich King.
Right, of course. Right. Yeah, Alex, what's up with that?
Thanks for pointing that out. We're gonna get that fixed.
Like that says, like, I mean, this is a lore thing, but that is light years different than what we get now. We're going to get that fixed. We're going to fix that. It's that easy. Like, it seems like the WoW devs are so defensive nowadays about their game being called bad. Like, I don't get it. And I get emotional because I played this for 16 goddamn years. It's more than half my life, you know? And it's like, you see a company, like, don't get me started on League of Legends. I have my own issues with Riot since I played that since Season 1. I got my own problems with that. We'll be here all day. But, you know, I've already let that fall down in the ground, and I gave up on that. Blizzard, I still haven't really gave up on, even though, like, I feel like I'm being forced to. But, I don't know, that just... And then let's compare this to Ian talking about the gameplay in 9.1.
Bosses. Korthia is going to have a number of other daily quests, rares, zone events, and just a general reward loop that's going to be added to it.
Okay, there's a few in the comments. So there was something... We all hated Najdatar. I call it Nazjiz. But he talks about the mana pearls on the items. And here's an expression.
Najdatar as an inspiration.
Watch his face.
Some of the
man goes through PTSD.
And then rewards-wise, you know, I think we're looking to something like mana pearls from Najdatar.
Look at his face. Literally, his life flashed before his eyes. And you know what's even worse? That expression happened at 420. We are in the simulation. Literally in the simulation. 420 in the video, that's when the reaction is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm seeing through the Matrix. But his face tells so much.
Inspiration, minus some of the...
And then this. Why mana pearls? Why this system that we all fucking hated? Mana Pearl, like Najjatar, awful. And it should have been cool. There's something else in here. And here's something else. They're talking about like PvP scaling, I believe, on item level and how items change like PvP. And this is a get good. Listen to what Ian says about the skill thing.
Frankly, that's a skill issue, right? That there, as you yourself very well know, there are vast skill gaps there when it comes to performance. The power budget for our gear hasn't changed in years. One item level is roughly 1%. That's what it was.
Now, I can see where he's coming from with this, but the way he worded that's frankly a skill issue. Is just kind of. Has Yoshi P ever said something like that, where it was kind of like a subtle get good type thing? I usually am not one to like pull things from like low ball content like that. So he's definitely said that before. I'm honestly fine with that generally, but I think it hits harder when like the game's doing worse. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It overall just this is just my general sentiment of all this, since we've explored a lot of clips here. Just judging from FanFest, looking at Twitter, all these other things, the general sentiment of the game and the player base and the community, y'all seem so goddamn happy. And I'm glad you're happy. It seems like there may still be some issues with the game, but just the general announcements, the new job, the memes in the community, what the devs did, everybody just seems so happy in the 14 section. And then we like look at World of Warcraft. We're in a content drought of almost 7 months. We don't know when the 9.1 release date is. And we think it's going to be a month after TBC release, because I think there was a leak, air quote. But I'm still just like, why should I care about these things if we still have systems that have failed in past expansions? We're not even trying to reinvent the wheel at this point. It's just a wheel they throw new mechanics in, and it suffers the same problem. It breaks down halfway through, and the wheel gets fixed by 9.3 or the 8.3 patch. And I'm just, why even care about retail? And Classic was pretty cool. The main issue I had with Classic was the community, because P servers, everybody thought and this is an issue with gaming in general. Everyone has to follow the meta. Everybody has to do the meta. If you don't do the meta, you're not playing the game right. Classic is insanely easy. There's a lot of preparation to it, a lot of time sinks, but mechanically, compared to Mythic rating or anything like that, it's very, very easy. So my personal take, I've done it before. I just want to chill. I want to have a good time. If some people want to do the min-max speedrun stuff, that's on them. I fully respect it. I'm not saying you can't do that. But when the entire community gets, and this is just gaming in general nowadays, like when everyone thinks they have to min-max because everybody else is doing it, I feel like we just have to kind of step back. You don't have to do that. And that's more of like a gaming culture thing. I felt like the Classic community could have been a lot better. And there's been a few devs from past P servers like Nano from Nostalrius that said maybe the devs should have stepped in and made sure that Classic remained what the devs envisioned. But, it is what it is. But then I see retail. I see what retail's doing. I'm just not excited about anything in retail anymore. And I used to be. And it hurts. But that's just my general sentiment about it. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't know what your takes on it are. I just feel like overall the 14 side of things, everything is doing really well because there is a strong person at the front of the ship leading that ship forward. And then on the other side of things in retail, I think Activision is a huge cause of it. I don't even think we can blame Ian or anybody else. I think Activision ties Ian's hands. I want to believe that. I want to believe that it's not the devs themselves, but Activision influencing it. But who knows? That's just where I'm at. But that's just my general sentiments on all of the things. FanFest was really cool. And there's still a lot of good moments with BlizzCon. It's just the directions of both games and the general sentiment that the devs have with the passion for the game. I just don't think it's there anymore on Blizzard's side of stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you agree or disagree. Hey guys, if you're here, I also stream MMO and variety content on twitch.tv, Big Hero 60. Have a good day.